Hey everybody, Jeff, aka GCurse here with my friend Aaron, aka Anavrin,
Hey, everybody.
and we just thought, this is something we've been talking about wanting to do for quite a while, and it took a little bit of getting a foot in my ass to finally get me the motivation to do it. It also doesn't hurt now that I'm on break. It's just I wasn't sure exactly the logistics about doing it, so this is going to be something pretty new for me because when I do the Unsolved Mysteries commentary, it's by myself. So here's what we'll do is like I am, me and Aaron, we're gonna watch the show, but during periods I may pause it and we can talk about it. Or if you want me to pause it or something, go ahead.
Oh yeah,
Just
we could
say
have a
go.
signal. I could go.
Yeah, just say go ahead, pause it, and I'll pause it or something.
I'll blink SOS.
Yeah. Oh, that reminds me of there was the old SOS dishwash. I think it was dishwasher detergent
Oh
commercials
yeah.
back in the 80s where they had like these pots and pans that were like autumn, I'm not sure what the word was, but it's like that they would like dun, 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 and like it would be flopping around. It would be like SOS.
I
Okay,
vaguely
so
remember the SOS. Was it
yeah,
blue? Like blue and
I think it
bottle
was
or
I think it was like blue and yellow
blue and...
box or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so we got that. Close that. Oh my god. Close this out. There we go. Okay, so can you see it okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good, because like I said, I'm directly doing my screen. So
Yeah, that's cool.
if it's too quiet, let me know and I'll see if I can raise the volume up.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, and I forgot to tell you what the case was, or what it's about.
Mm-hmm.
The case is the Sarah Joe, as I mentioned just a few seconds ago. Basically, what it was I think it's like 3 or 4 fishermen went on a fishing excursion out of Maui, I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, the father of one of the fishermen, he was sitting there and the weather started getting really bad. And he was like, he wanted to get his kid back into land before the storm really, and they went missing and they were never found.
Oh geez.
Oddly enough, 2,000 miles west of Maui, the boat was found on an island, and there was a crude thing of rocks built up, and a
Oh.
cross was put in it.
Oh geez.
Yeah, so the question is like, what happened to the rest of the people who
Whose
buried?
remains were there? Yeah.
Yeah, it was turned out to be one of the fishermen, but the question is who buried him?
Right. Right. It
And
kind of
here,
implies that other people lived.
yeah, and here's the catch:
Hmm.
just before the bones were found, apparently like a year or two before that, a survey team was on that island doing survey stuff, and they never found anything at the time.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Weird.
Okay, so here we go. You ready?
Yep.
Okay, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, I can't hear anything.
You can't?
Mm-mm.
Hmm.
Wonder if you have to share audio or something too,
Uh,
like in settings.
let's see here.
Yeah, because I mean, it's not even anything.
Well, I gotta pause. Hold on. Let me try again. Nothing.
Mm-mm.
Oh, that is weird. Okay, hold on. Let's stop sharing because I thought it would. Well, this may be.
Technical issues.
Well, either that or let's see here. Audios.
You could send me the link to YouTube and I can just sync. We can just hit play at the same time in the same.
Well, let's see here. Audio settings, maybe.
Oh, maybe.
I'm just.
There's also, like I saw for Zoom, where you have to like log in as an administrator to the website in order to allow certain sharing settings.
Music, professional audio, fidelity, echo cancellation, stereo audio. Yeah, automatically join. Let's see if we can try to watch it through YouTube then. See if that works.
Yeah, that should be easy
Okay,
enough.
split
We might be like a
screen.
second off, but it won't matter.
Yeah, let's see. Let's see if this works. Okay, so it'll be just a second. This is the thing
gotcha.
about,
Experimental.
yeah.
You got to
I'd,
go with it.
I'd
If you
hate
want
to,
a polished product,
I'd hate to think that this is not going to work because of,
oh, we'll figure it out.
yeah. Let's see here on YouTube. Sorry, YouTube.
Did you know, this is a side you don't, I mean, hopefully it won't distract you enough, but I was noticing through Amazon Prime that they have a channel that's called Unsolved Mysteries, and it just plays Unsolved Mysteries 24 hours a day. But
Yeah,
it's not on demand. It's just like streaming. I mean, just like,
yeah.
yeah.
They have something like that on a free TV app called Pluto, I think it is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and
Same
it's the
thing.
same thing. See, Unsolved Mysteries season. I think it's season 2. Oh, I'll just do it this way. Unsolved Mysteries. The Sarah Joe. This is gonna freaking suck. Let's see here, Sarah Joe Mystery. Okay, first we'll just see if you can hear anything. Period.
Yeah.
Anything?
No, is it making sound already?
Yeah, it's talking.
No, it's not sharing it with
Hmm.
me. But I can go
Okay.
there. I can search Unsolved Mysteries Stereo Joe too.
Well, it's going to drive me nuts. So let's see if I can. Yeah, let's see here.
Right.
Okay, let's see here. Crap. Split screen. So okay, let's see if maybe doing it this way. The thing is, we can't see each other, so that may. Wait, there it goes. Well, participants can now see your application. So hold on.
Oh, it says select share sound in the bottom left corner of the share selection window.
Wait, share selection window. Where's that at?
I don't know. It says click on share screen on the meeting toolbar. Select the program or desktop you wish to share. Select share sound in the bottom left corner of the share selection window.
Okay, hold on. I'm still. Where are you on the website or something?
Yeah.
Okay, let me. Well, what's the website so I can?
I'll messenger it to you.
Okay, well, let me get back on Messenger.
Oh.
Okay, let me just let's see here. I'm gonna play it again. Well, hold on. It's not even. Hold on. Let's see here. Polls, chat, security. Hold the new share. Screen. I don't want screen. Oh, here we go. Okay, there. Turn that off. Let's restart it. Let's see. Control. Okay, can you hear anything? I'm just curious.
Not right now. Is it playing? It looks like it's
Yeah,
frozen.
it's playing, but apparently you can't hear it. Okay, this may be.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, let's
So,
see here. I'm checking out the Zoom the link you sent me. Can you see what I'm looking at right now? I'm just curious.
I can see like the Unsolved
This
Mysteries.
okay.
It's the
Video.
ocean or whatever.
Okay, so hold on me.
There's a dock.
Yeah, let me close that out then. Okay. Then I'm gonna split to screen. There, now you should sharing computer sound during screen share.
Yeah.
Zoom screen sharing allows you to share desktop window application, audio, video. If audio is an important part of your shared document, you can also send the computer's audio in mono or stereo to the remote attendees when sharing prerequisites. Stereo zoomed Windows client. We have that. Start during Zoom meeting. Click screen share on the meeting toolbar. Did that. Select the program or desktop you wish to share.
Did that.
Okay, so hold on, I'm just curious. Advanced sharing options.
Maybe. I can't see.
I know. Well, neither can
bottom.
I. Well, multiple shares simultaneously. It just says how many participants can share at the same time. Who can share?
Oh, well,
sharing.
like, okay, so you know your little taskbar thing where your
Yeah.
share is? If you go all the way to the left, like where it says stop video for me, it also has like a audio.
Okay, let me go
thing.
back.
I wondered if maybe it would give you the option there. Yeah, see on the far left.
Oh, where it says mute.
Yes. Does it have a little arrow you can click on
Yeah.
that? I wondered
Okay.
if there it would say something about it.
Speakers, same as test speaker. Leave computer audio settings. See, that's where I was.
Those are the same options I have.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's weird when it's describing it. It's like saying there's something on the share screen, but I
Yeah.
can't share my screen, so I don't know what it looks like.
Now, can you hear that at all? There was just some chime.
I
Okay,
don't hear
so
anything but your voice. Oh wait, I thought I heard something, but maybe not.
okay, let's see. Stop share. I'm going to stop sharing. Just
Okay.
okay. Let's go back to this though. How much time do you have? You know, because this may be just a.
Oh, I mean, I'm fine. We don't really have anything major going. Sonny's cousin's here, but
Yeah.
I told them we were doing this, so they
Well.
cleared out of the basement.
Okay, so
It's actually
there.
kind of
Now
nice. I got the
we're
place to
back on
myself.
that.
Mhm.
Select share. Okay, select share sound from the bottom left corner of the
share
share
selection window.
Okay, so share selection. Oh, I think I know what they may mean. Hold on, let's stop. Okay, the share selection. Oh, share sound. Here we go.
Yay.
Okay, now let's try this. Okay, tell me if you can hear anything.
Yep. Traditional
Sweet.
Got it.
Okay.
Now, so for people that are watching, not only do you get an excellent show with, insights into unsolved mysteries, you also get a tutorial on Zoom. So it's just like,
exactly.
you're welcome.
You get to watch it. You get to watch the big dude freak out and like just panicking and everything. Okay, I just want to say if it wasn't for Aaron, I'd probably be pulling what's left of my hair out now. Like you should
Like,
see me. You should see me like when I get a new computer and it's not working right, or the Xbox. Like I remember. Oh God,
you rage against the machine.
Well, the thing is, like when I first got fucking Xfinity, this was like 2013.
Yeah.
They fucked up they had the service fucked up or whatever, and they never fixed it until later on, years later.
Yeah.
And I could not get the Xbox to work properly. It was always like a fucking high wire act. If I did one thing wrong, it would crash and it would take forever to figure out what was wrong. Okay, yeah. So you already remember what I said. Basically, the case is.
Yep. Yeah, it's interesting.
Okay,
I'm ready.
So if you, like I said, if you want me to pause it, just say, "Hey, pause it," and I will. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Let's see here. Maybe I'm just curious. I probably don't have that.
I can do reactions.
Yeah, that's
so I'll raise hand. Can you see that?
I'm trying. Let's see. What can you see right now? I think I fucked up my screen. Do you see the video still? I'm just curious.
Yes, I can see the video.
Okay, because I'm not. That's not what I'm. Oh, it's pause. It says. Okay. There it goes. But now I don't see you.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's weird. But okay, let's just start. Well, yeah. Hold on. Stop share. Oh, then it appeared then after I stopped it. So let's go back.
I don't know how to make the no go away from my screen.
The no?
Yeah, the little X. Can you see the?
Hold on.
Because it said you could raise your hand.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. Okay, just click on it again.
I tried that. Oh, it gave me a new hand. Or maybe I did it. Oh,
wait,
no,
let me see. Lower hand.
Oh yeah. Okay. Lower hand.
And then, well, I did lower hand and
then it took mine away.
There it goes.
Okay. You can do it.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, yeah, but the thing is, this takes up a little bit of the screen. Let me see if I can mute it or minimize it. Yeah, I can't get it to really shrink anymore. So just say, hey, pause it, and I will.
Okay.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's go.
The Hawaiian island of Maui, one of the nation's most beautiful tourist centers. But Maui is also dotted with tiny villages dependent on the unpredictable Pacific for their livelihood. One of these traditional fishing villages is Hana, a town of approximately 1,200 people located on Maui's southeast shore.
Okay, the one thing that has always kind of made me wonder, see, I'm not, can you see me at all on your screen?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Because I can't see you. That's the weird thing. It's just like.
Oh, I wonder if it's a setting about how like it's stacked or something.
I'm not
like
sure.
You. At the top,
Well,
it says view options.
on, where's that hit? That is it
Oh,
part
on
of the bar or something?
part of the, for me at least, part of the Zoom screen at the top, it says you are viewing Jeff Miller's screen, and that says view options. And then I can do
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Just it's now it's
hide video
okay. There
panels,
you are.
yeah,
Okay, hold on.
side by side mode.
There. Okay, I'm guessing. Okay, you can still see the full screen
Yep.
though, full video.
Mhm.
Okay, I'll just have to go this way because
Okay.
right now it's just I'll resize it like that. Okay, so but it always makes you wonder. Like they said, like this little village had like 1,200 people in it as of this recording, and this recording was done like I think it was like 88 or 89. So you got to think, considering how the world population has expanded over the last 30 years.
Mhm.
How big this, I highly doubt that this village is still at 1,200 or less.
Right.
If anything, it's probably
High rise hotels or something.
yeah, sadly, I'm just
Yeah.
waiting. I'm waiting for that shit to happen here. Okay.
February 11th, 1979. On the spur of the moment, 5 local men took the day off, planning on a few hours pleasure fishing in their 17-foot Boston whaler, the Sarah Joe.
When they left at about 10 in the morning, the weather was very calm, and it was a nice clear day. And they gathered their equipment together and prepared the boat.
The 5 friends who went fishing that morning were Benjamin Kalama, Ralph Magliacchini, Scott Moorman, Patrick Woosner, and Peter Hanchett.
Okay, I was wrong. I thought it was 3 or 4, but it was 5. So
It's fascinating. I mean, they seem like they know what they're doing. Like, what could have
yeah,
happened?
and the thing is, you would think that they would have looked at because the weather has to come in off the water, right?
Yeah.
That's how it isn't like the weather changes online. I always because I'll be honest, I'm not a boating person.
Mhm.
But like when you look at the clouds here at Kelso Longview, the clouds always seem to come over Longview, then hit Kelso, so it indicates that it's coming off the ocean now.
Yeah. Right.
So you would think that they would be heading out because if I remember correctly, it's like a little bay where they are right now, and they have to go through like this little inlet out into the ocean itself.
Mhm.
You would think that they would have seen what was on the horizon.
Right. And in a 17-foot boat, you wouldn't think you'd take a huge risk and go out too far. But
Yeah,
that's not a huge boat. That's pretty small.
Yeah, and it is. I'm not a boating expert, but for a boat that size, isn't 5 people kind of too many?
That's what I was thinking too. Like, unless you were just, staying near the shore, like you never get so far away that you couldn't see the island. But I guess maybe they got pushed out.
Yeah, things are
tides or
different,
something.
I guess. Back
Mm.
in the '79.
Yeah,
Hey, you were about 2 years old, right?
I was. I was
Yeah.
almost 2. It would be a month short of 2, and you would be
Not
0,
born.
negative.
Yeah,
Negative 2 or 3.
720 days, I think it is, or something like that, or
Okay.
730.
At Clinton, the men had over 50 years of seagoing experience, and Magliacchini earned his living as a professional fisherman. As the Sarah Joe left the harbor, the weather was fair.
See, this is what I mean, like
But at
how the
1
weather is.
p.m., a freak wind swept in from the mountains. The first warning that a storm was about to strike. A storm
Freak
as
wind.
dangerous as it was unexpected.
The wind switching around, instead of coming from the normal direction, which is from the east, northeast, it switched and came from the mountains, going out to sea.
Okay, so apparently I was wrong. But I always thought that the way the weather was, that the weather, weather conditions and everything always originate off the ocean. But apparently I
I
was
think
wrong.
because Hawaii is an island, I think they like Japan and then just sweep right through to the Pacific. Like, I don't know if it changes around the islands because those islands are so big, or if it just kind of sweeps through. Because like, if it's super rainy in Hawaii, we'll get that rain. Like the atmospheric river thing happens or
Yeah.
something. Like 3 days later or something.
That actually sounds good considering how freaking hot it is right now.
I know.
But yeah, 50 years. That I mean, something they must have. it must have really been nice from their perspective, for them to continue on, and everything.
Yeah.
This
It's interesting
consumed
though, because they said they were real like fishermen. So
Yeah, that they had 50 years of knowledge and everything. So it isn't like that they were like the weekend
right.
warriors.
That's
that
what I was
don't-
thinking first. It was like, oh, there's some college kids or something that got in
Yeah.
over their heads. Like,
And even Robert Stackman said that one of them did this for a living, so they
living,
knew what
right?
they were doing.
Yeah, fascinating.
deal. So I told Dave, say, we better get down the coast, see if we can spot those boys and wave them in.
Within hours, the storm arrived in all of its fury. John Hanchett went out into the teeth of the gale to search for the Sarah Joe and his son Peter.
By this time, it was really blowing a gale, and the rain was beginning to come down, and it was storming. And we went out of Hana Harbor about a half a mile and then down the coast, and still didn't see any sign of the boys. But it was a very rough trip, and the oceans were fierce. I'd never seen them get that rough.
The one thing that a lot of people doing Unsolved Mysteries commentary, one of the commonalities that I get, not so much in public messages, but like emails and stuff. Oh, you're too cynical. You're too emotionless. You're too you always see the negative,
Mhm.
But it's hard to look like they were literally just showing how bad the water was,
Right.
And I hate to say it, as much as even though we, later on we'll see how it ends,
Yeah.
but you can't look at that and think, oh, they made it out fine. That boat would have been just decimated by the
And
swells.
he knew that. I mean,
Yeah.
like what's interesting is he said he'd never seen anything like it. I wonder, like, if I don't know if they are native Hawaiians or
Yeah.
not, but you'd think like they would have known for generations, like this is a known thing that happens once every 100 years or whatever,
Yeah.
like to take it by surprise. I was going to say too, though, what's fascinating to me about Unsolved Mysteries
Mhm.
is what is the trauma, right? This is the worst moment in this man's life. Your son is lost and you're reenacting this trauma, right?
Yeah.
And I always wondered, like, if they found this to be like healing, being able to like discuss it and
Or
be
traumatic.
open about it, or if it's worse, if it makes it
Yeah.
worse. So it'd be fascinating to like follow up with some of these families and say, was this a good experience for you? Did this help you with your grief, or did it dredge it all up and make it worse? And now you see the reruns and
Yeah.
Right.
Well, honestly, my theory is because I think this was we'll look at it after the video itself is done. But I think because this happened in 79,
Mhm.
and I think this was recorded in either 88 or 89.
Mhm.
So you have like either between 9 to 10 years of
Right.
grieving. Yeah.
Right.
So maybe it could be like that the longer it happens, the more you find it easier to talk about it. Whereas if it was like still fresh, you probably talk about it, then you start breaking down. Like if you lost, like you lose a beloved member, whatever.
Right.
Hanchett continued his search the next day with the help of marine biologist John Naughton.
It made quite an impression on me to think that this man was out all day yesterday in 30 to 40 knot winds and 20 to 25 foot seas in this channel, looking for his son.
You're hoping coming in that someone had seen something during the day and they'd have some encouraging news, but they had the same news that we brought in. That was no sign of the boys, no sign of the boat, no sign of anything.
The next day, the Coast Guard continued the search for the Sarah Joe.
The initial place where you start searching was very ill-defined because we weren't really sure exactly where the Sarah Joe had gone fishing. So it encompassed a relatively large area initially that first day, and then the area gets bigger and bigger and bigger. When the conditions are rough out, it's very difficult, whether you're in the air or on the water. And combine that with the fact that the Sarah Joe was a turquoise blue color with white trim in an ocean that's turquoise blue with white whitecaps. So it would have been very, very difficult.
Yeah, I understand the fact that this is, they have experience doing it, but these are just something that's like, if I had my own kids, I'd be like kind of nervous about ever letting them off to do something like that, or like the old saying about never let your kid have a motorcycle,
Right.
something bad could happen, and it's just, you gotta trust them, but at the same same thing, you're also kind of putting them at the mercy of the elements, the ocean.
Right. Right. You want them to be able to like live and do what they do, but it is every parent's worst nightmare. I mean, it's every child's worst nightmare to lose a parent too, like I can't even imagine.
And like you just mentioned children. I don't think they mentioned it, but you would have to think that at least one of these 5 men that were in the boat had to have a kid or something.
Oh, right. Yeah,
So
families.
so it's like not only did that one father lose his kid, but you got to think of the family of these other men.
It's so excruciating when they're missing, right? Like if somebody dies, like it's painful and everything, but when they're missing, you have this like free floating, like, well, maybe there's a chance, and how long does that last? 6 months, a year? Like how long do you go? Like you've seen families on other cases that believe their loved one is still alive somewhere years later.
Like that. Oh God, I think it was the Memorial Day special I did, the Robert Borton.
Yep.
I'm honestly, I'd if the person was missing, I'd rather have them missing than find out that they're dead. And then have their body brought back, because you have that mourning that you can then do. But if somebody's just missing and missing and missing, and you never know what happens.
Oh, no.
To me, that's awful. Like double whammy. Not only you want to mourn for them and move on, but then you can't because you're worried that if you do that, they may show up.
Right.
When the search was finally suspended, 5 days later, we had searched 73,000 square miles.
Wow.
During the following weeks, the residents of Hana combed the nearby beaches, looking for the wreckage of the Sarah Joe. Finally, they gave up the search, but they never gave up hope.
These people are not going to become obsessed with impossibilities, but on the other hand, they don't forget.
Heavenly Father, we ask Thee to be amongst us this time as we unify our love.
To commemorate the 10th anniversary of the Sarah Joe's disappearance, the family and friends of the missing sailors gathered on the pier where the 5 men departed.
Help us to understand what we have all been through.
As time passed, it seemed that memories were all that were left of the missing men and the Sarah Joe.
The one thing that I've always kind of thought about when I do these cases, like especially with missing people, somehow if they ever do come back, can you imagine how different the world is that they'd be coming back to regarding their family and everything?
Yeah. You wonder if they'd ever get over it. Like.
Yeah, there was a TV series back on USA Network a long time ago. I may get the title wrong, but there was something called I think it was like the 3200 or something like that. It was where a whole bunch of people were abducted by aliens or whatever, and then time went on 10, 20, however many years, and then because I never got to finish the series, and for some reason the aliens brought them back all at once. And the TV show was about people adjusting back to what life was like after being
right.
Or the 4400, I think that's what it was called.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that sounds familiar.
Yeah, but so I'm just, I'm part of me does want to think that hopefully at least one the other 4 are still alive, even though odds are that they're not.
Right.
And if they ever come back, you got to think about what it'd be like for them. Such a kind of shock, to the system.
Yeah, especially you think about the movie like Castaway and stuff.
Yeah.
By the time he came back, his wife had remarried, and I can't even imagine.
How do you remember how long he was on the island for? I can't recall.
I think it was like a decade or something, or 7 years or something. I mean, long enough
for people
to move on.
Dead, yeah.
Yeah.
And as Robert Stack just said, so they disappeared in 79, and they said that they were on the dock 10 years later. So this was in 89 then.
Wow.
For all that we share today and always. Amen.
On September the 9th, 1988, the story of the Sarah Joe took a bizarre turn.
Captain, come take a look at this.
10 years after the tiny boat disappeared and 2,000 miles west of Maui in the Marshall Islands, a wrecked boat was spotted on the tiny island atoll of Tiongi. Incredibly, the man who first saw it was John Naughton, the marine biologist who had searched for the Sarah Joe back in 1979.
Jeez Louise.
What's
What a
the odds?
coincidence.
What's the
That's
odds?
crazy.
You know.
That's Unsolved
And-
Mysteries. It always
yeah.
has these 1 in a million sort of. Yeah.
And the thing is, now I don't think he had anything to do with him disappearing. I think what it was
no.
was cool weather. But can you imagine what people, some people would think? This guy was looking for them and they couldn't find him. But then all of a sudden he's on a boat just surveying an island and it's there. You would think that.
Like as far as circumstantial evidence that would be like
and
eyebrow raising.
Yeah, and then the thing is, they said it was 2,000 miles west.
Yeah.
So, and they in the video pretty soon you'll hear it. I think they said it just takes I think something like 6 months or whatever to go from Maui to Tiongi if it was just drifting or whatever.
Oh my gosh.
And the thing is, if that's the case, the boat should have been there when they did the check of the island earlier. But it wasn't. And then you'll find out.
How long did they search? Oh yeah, let's touch.
Yeah.
At first, we thought it was a boat moored offshore, so we approached closer, and then we saw that it was a what looked to be a battered small boat on the island itself.
Naughton and his crew landed to examine the wreckage.
As we rounded a bend in the island on the windward side there, we could see the white hull of the boat, and on the starboard bow, there were still a few letters and numbers from the registration number, and immediately I saw it started with an HA, which indicates that the boat was registered in the Hawaiian Islands, which of course is over 2,000 miles away.
Approximately 60 yards away from the wreckage, Naughton's companions discovered a makeshift grave.
We walked over there, and they were standing over a pile of coral rocks with a crude wooden cross sticking out of it.
Okay, see, and this is what I was kind of telling you before we started recording about the pile of rocks. Now, I'm not a religious person. I all I can tell you is that there's God and then there's Jesus. I don't know that much about, But isn't crosses more indicative of only a couple religions? I may be wrong, but like Christianity and Catholicism, or however you pronounce
Catholicism, well, and also Mormon. I know there's a big Mormon population on Hawaii as well. But also, I mean, you got to remember that places that were colonized were very much colonized by often missionaries or religious folk.
Because the reason I say this, because obviously it had to be visitors to the island because the island is uninhabited.
Right. So I think, what's interesting is, obviously these were friends, right? You probably don't go to all this trouble to bury a stranger or something, like if you're, and then is this an abandoned, like deserted island? Like
apparently it's never been inhabited. It's just, let's see if I can actually find it. Hold on. Okay, stop sharing. I'm going to stop that. And then I'm going to share this screen. That didn't work. Let's see here. There we go. Okay.
There you go.
Tiongi. I think that's how they pronounce it.
Yeah.
Tiongi Island.
Atoll. They said atoll.
Yeah, it's atoll.
There you go.
I may be. That's all right. No, that's okay. Well, what we can do is, let's see here.
You do Unsolved Mysteries.
Joe. Yeah, Joe.
Yeah.
Unsolved Mysteries. They may have a better spelling of that. Sergio, Mr. Fandom. Okay, to those who never watched my Unsolved Mysteries commentary series, this is basically where I go after watching the video by myself, and we look up, or I look up the case. Let's see here, to see if there's any updates. Okay, let's see here. Oh, okay.
Taongi?
Yeah. Okay, let's see here. Come on. Oh, let's just
deserted atoll called Taongi.
Come on. There it goes.
I don't actually know what an atoll is. I only know Bikini Atoll from
Yeah, and that was where they were doing nuclear tests. And stuff.
radioactivity when they were like, wait, we can't do this.
Let's
This is
see,
awful.
Bokak Atoll,
Oh,
Marshallese,
okay.
or Taongi Atoll is an uninhabited coral atoll in the Ratek chain of the Marshall Islands in the North Pacific Ocean. Due to its relative isolation from the main islands in the group, Bokak's flora and fauna have been able to exist in a pristine condition.
Wow.
So let's see, what is Coral Atoll?
It's actually kind of beautiful.
Yeah. Let's see, an atoll, sometimes known as Coral Atoll, is a ring-shaped coral reef. Here, I'm not, I'll just leave it like this. Including a coral rim that encircles a lagoon. Wow, that sounds nice.
Yeah.
Partially or completely, there may be coral islands or cays on the rim. Wow. Well, that's kind of neat, though. You know, if now they don't show the entire island in the video, but I mean, if it looks something like this, unless the weather gets really bad, it looks like there's a possibility that maybe the because you said who would take time to bury a body unless if it's a friend.
Yeah.
Now I'll mention that we're gonna come across something, and I heard something about it, and I'll talk about that. I mean, if you're right, it was a friend, friends that buried him. Maybe that they were able to survive on the island for long enough until a boat or something came by. But the thing is, a ship that small, at least 4 people alive in water that hazardous, it's hard to think that they would survive that long trip.
Yeah, and even if they did, like finding fresh water on places like this is, you'd be dead in a couple of days if you can't find fresh water.
Yeah, and I doubt that they had any real, because I have watched some shows that dealt with like life after like system failure, and like I can't recall what the show was, but people were like there was like 2 teams or whatever, and they were like to challenge each other, see if they could survive in the apocalypse.
Oh,
and
right.
one of them set up like a water filtration system where it had like sand and charcoal in it. But I don't think that they would have the stuff, on this island to do that.
Well, and you still need, I mean, it's all salt water except for like what allows things to grow. Like you can see some greenery there, but there's not enough greenery there for there, like there's not like a creek or something, right?
Okay, there it goes.
So what kills you is the not dirty water, but salt water.
Yeah. It isn't that you die, like from you just dry out.
Right. Just dehydration.
Yeah.
And I mean, if it rained and you could capture enough, that would be something. Like obviously they probably had some from the storm. Like maybe they were smart and saved as much as they could.
Well,
that bought them some time.
Definitely hope so. Okay, let's get back to. Okay, let's see. Here we go.
And so when we got up there, we could see immediately that there was a jaw protruding out of the pile of rocks. At that time, we had no way of knowing that the grave site was associated with the wrecked whaler, although we had a fairly good, we had a feeling that it may be because it was in such close proximity.
Somebody obviously had to bury the guy, and they may still be on the island here.
The men found no evidence that the island was inhabited. Norton recorded the registration numbers of the whaler and left the site undisturbed. The Coast Guard ran a check of these numbers and made a positive identification. The whaler was the Sarah Joe.
I'll be damned.
It's so amazing that.
Okay, now by the looks of it, I'm it's possible considering that it was in the water for so long during that trip.
Yeah.
But it looks like the thing was salvage, or stripped, I guess you could say, because there was a spot in the middle where the crew was, or the steering wheel was.
Oh, right, yeah.
And it looks like it's been stripped. There's no motor, there's no steering column, and it looks like there were some chunks that were taken out of the boat itself. I'm just curious. Can you actually see my mouse moving at all?
Yep.
Okay, shit. Because when I get nervous or I'm not doing anything, I fidget with the mouse. So I'm sorry that bothers me.
No, I haven't noticed until you said that, and it was helpful because you're like pointing out different parts of the boat. So
it works. It's just that it
Yeah, you wouldn't think like if they drug it up there, they probably drug it up intact. Like
yeah,
unless maybe it flipped and who knows. Or they left
but
it in the water and it got bashed up against the rocks forever. I don't know.
and let's say it was one of the four survivors that buried that person. Now
Mhm.
I'm not sure if it was one of the survivors, and you'll find out why in a second.
Oh,
But I'm wondering if the other four, or at least some of the others, survived. What if they were picked up and they were picked up by people that were not necessarily reputable,
mm,
and then they ended up having like a fate worse than death? Like I'm not sure there's pirates out in that portion of the Pacific,
mhm.
because you only really hear about the Somalian pirates nowadays.
Yeah, that's true.
But I mean, what if the survivors were picked up and they were ended up being put into like servitude or something.
Right.
Oh God, I feel sorry
Hear
for them.
that.
Norton would end up finding the boat and the grave and things like that. I hadn't seen him in the meantime.
After the Coast Guard identification of the wreckage, the grave was excavated and a partial human skeleton was uncovered. Dental records revealed that the remains were those of one of the 5 missing men, Scott Mormon. Another strange clue surfaced when unusual pieces of paper were discovered in the grave. These papers had been buried deliberately.
It was a sheaf of paper, and I'd say a book, except it was not bound. Probably 3 inches by 3 inches by maybe 3/4 of an inch thick. But between each one of these pieces of paper, there was a very small square piece of tinfoil material. We have not been able to determine who placed that there or what purpose it serves.
Weird.
Yeah, so that's why I'm just like, I don't think it was one of the survivors, because that doesn't seem like something that they would do. Like
Right.
if anything, if they were going to leave something there paper wise, wouldn't it be like a note?
A note. Yeah.
Like here lies this person. Please contact family. Or
Right. If anyone finds this, let them
Yeah.
know. Yeah.
Now I can't recall where it was, because after doing so many of these videos and stuff, things do tend to blend in. But
Yeah.
I can't recall where it was I heard it from. But there is something called soul money. I'm guessing. I think it has something to do with Asian countries like Japan and China and stuff. But I'm guessing like when a person dies, let's see if I can find it. Okay, that when a person dies, basically, they the people will give like the soul money to that person for the trip in the next life.
Oh, okay.
Okay, soul money book.
It's like the ferryman over the river
Let's
Styx or something.
Let's see the soul. Let's see soul money, unsolved mysteries. Sarah Joe. The crew of the Sarah Joe mystery disappearance. I can't recall where it was I heard of it though.
Huh.
Oh well. Let's see. Let's see here. Images. Yeah, that's probably not gonna have anything to do with it. Okay, well, let's stop that. Go back to there you go. Can you see it okay still?
Yep.
Okay.
Experts agree that the Sarah Joe could have drifted the 2,000 miles to the Marshall Islands, a chain of tiny islands in the Western Pacific. This voyage should have taken 3 months.
Oh, 3 months.
But according to the brother of one of the missing men, a U.S. government survey of Tiongi in 1985 found no trace of the Sarah Joe. If this is true, then where was the Sarah Joe during the 6 years between its 1979 disappearance and this 1985 survey?
I have a thought.
What? You have a thought? Go ahead, let's hear it.
I think they were stranded on another island for many years and they stripped the boat because they were trying to figure out a way to escape. Like they thought they're going to get rescued and they lived there as long as they could. And then they realized nobody's coming. So they went out again and landed on another desert
they
island.
landed on Tiong.
And by the time they were there, the boat was just thrashed. Like,
Okay, but if that's the case, then where you think that they were picked up still, somehow later?
I don't know
Because
that part yet. Like, I feel like they probably died trying to escape again.
they
Like,
could
they
have.
probably went out to sea with whatever the makeshift stuff they could come up with, rafts or
Yeah,
whatever.
something similar to like what the people did from Alcatraz to me.
Exactly. Like whatever you could piece together.
Yeah.
Happy On was another movie where they did that. And Castaway, he built the
Yeah.
raft. So that would be my thought.
Well, yeah, I never thought about that though. They crashed there. Or on one of the islands in that chain, and then they got
Or
out
maybe one
again.
that's completely unknown still. Like,
Yeah.
because if they never found any trace, I mean, who knows what kind of islands are still
Yeah, they.
unfound.
Okay, well, that's a good idea though.
In 1985, he said there was no Sergio. No Sergio on the Tiongi Island. Where was the Sergio?
What happened to the Sarah Joe during these 6 lost years? Where were the 5 missing men? Who buried Scott Mormon and why?
And what's the tinfoil
Perhaps most
paper?
important,
Yeah.
could any of the men still be alive?
Every time I'm looking at the ocean, my thoughts go to him. I see him way out in the island someplace, alive and waiting.
We want to know what happened to the other boys. Were they on that island with the boat and with Scott? Or what? Maybe someone around has some information that can enlighten us on that.
You know what?
Tonight.
Okay. And that is it for that.
Oh, was that the last one? I was thinking with modern technology, obviously they can test DNA. They did that from demo records, but they might be able to tell how old the body was when it died, like by the teeth or something.
Yeah.
To see if he had lived several years after the accident before they buried him.
It's I just, like I said, this is, besides the ghost cases, I said it earlier in, when I first started doing Unsolved Mysteries commentary. I like the cases where it's like literally you're the only one, like either you're the only one on an empty highway just driving, where you're by yourself. Those are the cases I kind of like this one or Dexter Stefanik, because you're used to being with near people, but then what if you're on a highway that you don't see anybody for 50 plus miles? I'm not talking about like city people in city. I'm like cars,
right?
Stuff, and nothing really encapsulates the idea of being alone than being on the ocean.
Oh, absolutely. And you're out of your element. If you can't see land anywhere, that's be the most terrifying thing in the world.
Okay, okay. Me and Aaron, we're going to go and look at the Unsolved Mysteries wiki just to see if there's been any updates. I doubt that there has been. So basically, the crew of the Sarah Joe consisted of Peter Hanchett, Benjamin Kalama,
Yeah,
Ralph Malinchini. Now, if I remember right, the guy who last talked, not the older guy, but the one that said he beat visions, must be his father or something. Yeah. Scott Mormon.
He's the one that died, right?
Which one?
Scott
Mormon? Yeah.
Yeah.
He was one that they found on the island. And Patrick Woe Sessner. And then nicknames, we had Benny for Benjamin. Location was Hana, Hawaii. The date was February 11th, 1979. The bio was Fishman for Ralph. Date of birth, and everything was unrevealed except for Benjamin was married, and the characteristics is unrevealed. And then the pictures are pretty much the
ones they showed.
Yeah, and this is the one that they found on the island.
It's like a kid.
Yeah, it's kind of sad because I'm pretty sure these people would still be alive today. They're if they were alive, that they'd probably have their own families by this point.
Yeah.
And then we already know the details. So I'll just scroll down. Suspects, none. Foul play is not suspected in their disappearance. I never thought it would be. The cryptic
Oh,
papers found in Scott's remains may be part of a Chinese burial ritual representing money. Okay, this is where I was.
that's where you got that.
And the fortune in the next life, known as Joss paper. Let's take a look.
Huh.
Okay, Joss paper. Joss paper, also known as incense papers, are
That's what it
paper
looks like.
crafts. Yeah, it does. Are sheets of paper crafts or sheets of paper made into burnt offerings common in Chinese ancestral worship, such as the veneration of the deceased family members and relatives on holiday and special occasions, worship of deities in Chinese folk religion also uses similar type of joss paper, as well as other paper mache items are also burned or buried in various Asian funerals to ensure that the spirit of the deceased has sufficient needs in the afterlife. In Taiwan alone, the annual revenue of temples received from burning joss paper was $400 million, or 400 US million, or whatever NT is,
I'm not
13
sure.
billion as of 2014.
That's amazing. 400 million US. I mean, that's like
Yeah, and it's just from
pretty
paper,
big industry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this kind of makes me think again, like I said, that possibly like you said, it could be a mixture of what we both think. Like they made it over to that Tiangi from another island in that chain, or even a different island, like you think,
Yeah. Yeah. Or
They were-
anywhere. I mean, it's 2,000 miles. Like they could have gone anywhere
Yeah.
before they ended up on Taeongi or whatever.
And then, that while they were there, it has to be a fishing ship, or something, or a whaling ship, saw them possibly like flagging them down or doing something to get their attention.
Yeah.
They pulled up and, disembarked, found the crew members, the lone survivors,
Hmm.
and they were possibly told that, we'll help take care of you. And in reality, they could have been put into forced servitude,
Right.
and maybe somebody felt bad enough for the person who died, Mormon, and buried him and left the money there.
Yeah, there wasn't. Did they say anything about anybody being of Chinese descent or possibly? I mean, I don't know if people are Chinese religion, even if they're not of China. I mean, maybe people in Hawaii.
Are you talking about in that article we read about the Joss money?
Of the four fishermen that
Here, let's go back.
survived. I didn't notice any names that seemed like they were Chinese.
Yeah, let me see if I can go. Okay, let's see here. See if this will. We got Ben. Well, I don't want to sound racist, but he kind of looks Oriental, and
Well,
I can't.
yeah,
Can't.
Kalama around here is
Actually, hold on
American.
Hold on
I
one
mean-
second. Hold on one second. I'll be right back. Okay.
Sure.
So.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now on a break. I should be like the girl from Ipanema. I could hum it. Do, 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 do.
Sorry about that. There was a little bit of a loud crash. I had to check, make sure Mom was okay.
Oh yeah, that's scary.
Yeah. Okay.
We had one of those the other day, and it was a broken ankle.
Yeah. I can't seem to get the pictures to load though. Normally that they would allow you to. But we got Benjamin Kalama,
Yeah.
Ralph Malinchini, Scott Mormon, Patrick Wozener, Peter Hanchett. There's the boat.
Yeah.
If anybody, I would say it would be one of these two people that could have left it. But the thing is, if why would they have it on them? Unless that they were always anticipating something could have happened to them.
Well, it almost sounded like it was makeshift though. Like maybe they had a roll of foil or something.
Oh yeah, they could have. We don't know what was on the boat, but that's very true. Okay, so let's. Okay, so let's see, or ghost money. That's or hell money.
Yeah.
So gold and silver foil, such as the ones inside the papers, also represent money or good fortune for the dead to bring them into the next life.
Let's hope that was the case.
Yeah, I'm hoping that whatever happened, they're in a better place.
Yeah.
Extra notes: this case first aired on October 11th, 1989. So I was not even 8 yet. I think I was still 7 at that time.
I was 12.
And you were still probably a lot cooler than I am now.
No.
Okay. The result is unresolved. Families of the missing men hired private investigator Steve Goodenow to look into the case. He took a team to Taeyongi and discovered a new handful of Scott Mormon's bones. Oh, that's something I didn't.
There was an original grave. Interesting.
Yeah, they're the original grave. Drivers also found the boat's engines wedged underwater in a nearby coral. Sorry. So apparently, like you said, maybe that they last ditch effort or something,
Yeah.
But that means that thing they must have really conserved fuel or something, because you would think that they would use the engines to try to propel, and stuff.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Given the narrow channel between the reefs and the islands, it is unlikely the boat could have reached the Tiangi Lagoon without human interference. Goodenow hypothesized that Chinese fishermen found Scott's body and buried him. He further theorized that the fishermen did not report the incident since they had been fishing in an area illegally. Well, and that is known. That I'm not saying just like one group of people. Illegal fishing, it's a worldwide problem.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Anyway, I mean, if people can make money and get away with it.
Yeah. Robert Malakini, brother of missing. So it's his brother. And I thought it could have been his father.
Mhm.
Brother of missing crew member Ralph Malakini thinks that Scott tied himself to the boat to weather the storm. He doubts that anyone from Sarajevo could have survived the storm and 2,200-mile journey to Tiangi. Memorial plaques to commemorate the crew were installed on the Tiangi Atoll in Hana Bay. Sadly, Peter's father, John, has since passed away.
That's very reasonable. Actually, both of them, the Goodenow hypothesis, I think, makes the most sense, because the Chinese fishermen probably would have
been there illegally,
and they would have had, well, I meant like have the papers and the foil to do the proper burial. But what and the other brothers, about him tying him to the boat, what a macabre image that is. I mean, let's say he tied himself to the boat, but he was floating. I mean, he wasn't there in 85, right?
Yeah.
So he's floating. So he's floating out there. He's probably just a skeleton. That's why they didn't find his full skeleton, was because at that point you'd have to be completely decomposed and who knows, eaten by fish and stuff, just tied to this boat floating out there. That's a gruesome thought.
Let's see here. Okay, let's look at some of the links. Normally, a lot of these links I don't really.
There's that one from 2019. 40 years later. They didn't solve anything, but
where else? Oh, right here.
Yeah, that's pretty recent.
Okay, let's take a look. If it comes up as a suspicious link or something, I'll just back out. Oh, the Maui News. 40 years later, the mystery still surrounds the Sarajevo and its 5 Hana fishermen who, God, I wish I stopped doing that, who didn't return. The boat went missing. Missing in stormy seas. Remains of only one man were found, and here's the plaque.
Oh, wow.
It says, in loving memory of the crew of the Sarajevo, lost at sea off Hana, Maui, February 11th, 1979. And then it has the names of the 5 people, and then it says Hana remembers her sons. Hana, the Sarajevo was a 70-foot motorboat that then 20-something Robert Malakini acquired in the 70s. So the boat was apparently heavily used then.
Yeah, it was old.
He named it after his mom and his dad. Oh,
Aw.
jeez. Oh God. I mean, I'm not trying to
Heartbreak
sound.
on top of heartbreak.
Yeah, it's like that sounds kind of. I don't want to sound morbid. It's like, yeesh, like.
Right.
Let's see. The name Sarah Joe is linked to one of the greatest tragedies and mysteries to arise from Hana. The boat took 5 strong, healthy young Hana men out to sea 40 years ago, Monday. It would eventually return to Hana after more than a decade and over 4,000 miles, but the men would not. What happened to the men aboard remains part fact and part fiction. It's a tale retold by outsiders around this time yearly, and a story that's lived daily by generations of people residing in East Maui. The Sarah Joe changed the lives of 5 families forever and rocked a small, tight-knit town where even decades later, residents rely on house visits instead of technology to connect with neighbors. Now, I'll be honest, I wouldn't mind living in something like that. Granted,
Yeah.
we're using technology to do the show,
Mm-hmm.
but considering that, we were alive, we were alive, and we know how life was prior to like cell phones and internet.
Yeah.
I think people like me, Aaron, our parents, and everything, I think we would have it a lot easier, being able to adjust back to the old way of living. Yeah. Whereas, like I don't, I'm not going to say her name because, but like, Aaron's child, I'm not going to say her name, for privacy reasons.
Appreciate
But I'm pretty sure that she, I'm not saying this to be mean,
that.
but the world that she was born into is a lot more different than the world that we came from.
Right. And I think for
So-
better and for worse, I mean, we were kind of living in the dark ages, when we were growing up. Like the only thing I knew about was what my parents and my church and my school, which was a church school, told me. Like,
Yeah.
I had no access to outside information. They completely controlled everything I knew or didn't know. And I think that was probably pretty unhealthy. But also it was really tight knit, because the only people you knew were people you talked to face to face, essentially,
Yeah.
or on the phone. But we hardly ever talked on the phone. So.
It's that old thing that you could never go home again. That old saying.
Right.
But me, I would love just the old way.
I really hate, I know that we're on Facebook messaging all the time, but the Facebook relationship is something I really don't like, because it's often based on a projection of what people want you to believe about them, rather than maybe who they really are. And you don't get a sense, you get this pretentious sense of how people are, rather than like really getting to know people and see them and how they react in different situations and stuff like that.
And that's kind of why I enjoy, like, when you come over and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's going to be kind of sad once you finally do move, because we'll lose that part. But that's why I'm also trying to do this series and stuff,
No, I'm glad you did too, because this gives us an excuse to chat for an hour a couple times a week.
And that way also, guy time.
Exactly.
Okay, the Sarah Joe changed the lives of 5 families forever and rocked a small, tight-knit town where even decades later, residents were like, wait, okay, right through that. Talking, story, and speculation. I'm just curious, how long is this? Wow, this is a long.
Oh, yeah, it's probably too far to read all of it. But it's
an
interesting read.
Yeah, I'll definitely put this link in the description of this, this video, because I'm going to upload this video to YouTube and to Facebook, because I've kind of relaunched a page that I let go dead on Facebook. So but the next link, it's the link I normally go to. I check out the Find a Grave. I know it's kind of morbid.
No, it's good. That's a tribute. I what I don't like about our culture is we avoid the topic of death almost completely.
Yeah.
Or we see it as morbid. You think about I know some South America cultures that do like the Day of the Dead ceremonies and stuff, and their kids dress up as skeletons. Like it's a lot healthier because we die. Like we can't deny that.
Yeah.
And to talk about it shouldn't be any different than talking about anything else we talk about. And
Well,
this is a memorial. This is how you remember people.
Yeah,
like
but
what you valued about them and stuff.
I'm pretty sure that there are people who also think it's, well, this guy, you know, he's looking at the grave site. You know, I don't want people thinking it's weird like that. It's just to show people like at least they found a resting place. You know,
Right. Well, the other thing too is when I watch your show, what I always like is you'll see comments that people have left, or they do the flowers thing.
Yeah.
And that always makes me feel good. Like, hey, these people aren't forgotten. And here's a website where you contribute like that. Like,
yeah, it may not be, you know, physical, but at least it's the thought that counts. You know?
Exactly. You're not forgotten.
Okay, so we got Peter Hanchett, which was one of the boaters. Birth was unknown. Death is February 1979. Hana Bay, Maui County, Hawaii, USA. So apparently they don't even think that he got that far away from his home, you know, apparently.
Yeah.
Burial, bodies lost at sea, specifically lost at sea off of Hana, Maui, as crew members of the Sarah Joe. And that would kind of make sense considering, you know, because they showed like video. I'm assuming that the video they showed of the storm when it was battering the sea walls and everything. I'm hoping that that's actually video of that storm that they had at that time. You know, it wasn't like,
yeah, they might from a news station or something.
Yeah. So, and I was watching that when we were watching this a few minutes ago, and I couldn't help but think that looked honestly like they don't call it hurricanes on the west, you know, in the Pacific Ocean, typhoons or something.
Typhoon, yeah.
But that looked like it was more than just a little windstorm. That looked like a typhoon or something.
Yeah, they said freak storm, so I'm guessing that must be like 1 in 100 years or whatever.
Yeah.
Like what qualifies as freak, like a volcano erupting, you know?
Yeah. or you know, what's the difference between a storm and a typhoon, though? That's what I wonder.
Oh, I'm not actually sure.
Okay, so we only have one photo, which is, you know, that's okay. I don't expect them to do a lot of photos, you know. If you can get one, sometimes that's nice, because I've come, you know, in some of the videos I've done, there are literally no photos and like scant information, you know.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Memorial lost off Sea of Maui, Hawaii, United States, as a crew member of the Sarah Joe. And looks like we only have let's see, let's view all. And we have
March, April, May.
Yeah. Let's see here. Am I signed in? Hold on. Yeah, let's see here. Hold on, I'm going to. Yeah. Oh, don't worry, you're not going to see anything.
Okay, good. Still your password. It's 12 dots.
Oh, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You know, like. Come on.
I don't even know if it's 12. I can count that fast.
Oh, well. My password is password in case you want to know. Let's see here. Now, the thing is, I actually have not a membership, a profile. So I'm going to. No, I just freaking.
You want to make sure it's super secure. This is like Fort Knox.
There it goes. Let's see. I'm not going to show password.
Even though it's 750 dots.
Yeah, I actually, because I use Norton, you can actually have massively long.
For you.
They have a password generator, and I have it set up for like, I think the max is like either 120 or something like that characters. I mean, it's just obscene.
Holy cow.
Yeah. Okay, so
not even quantum computers will be able to hack you.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like fucking Batman over here. Okay, leave a flower. Now this is something you guys don't normally see.
Oh, that's cool.
Hey, Aaron, I'm gonna scroll down. I would like you to pick a flower, okay?
Oh, I like that.
Yeah,
let's go. I want to go with the lily, actually.
Lily, okay.
The white one.
Oh, right here?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, let's see here. My heart goes out to those lost. Hopefully, they will have found peace. Have found the peace and the peace that they were robbed of back in June, in 1979. How does that sound? That sounds pretty good, right?
I like it. Yeah.
Okay. And then add flowers. That it's basically that. It's pretty easy like that. Like.
Yeah, that's nice.
And let's see here, flowers. So plant trees, and then photos, and that is basically it. This was pretty, a pretty basic profile. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I don't understand? So let's go with the hypothesis they presented, right?
Okay.
That it was lost at sea. They all died right away. But
Yeah.
the Peter Mormon strapped himself to the boat.
Yeah.
If that's true, how? I mean, are they literally saying it floated out to sea for 6 years before it crash landed? Because the survey didn't see them.
Yeah. In 1985, they did not see them. That's what has me curious. It's like, what? I find it really hard to believe that it could have just went around circles in the ocean.
Right.
Yeah.
Without landing anywhere.
Yeah. Well, I think it could have been like, that the body was, well, that's still 6 years though, 6 years from 79 to.
It'd have to be a skeleton
80.
when he landed.
Yeah.
Like that's
So
the scary thing.
and being in I'm pretty sure the ocean is very, of course it's ocean. It has to be humid, like.
Mhm.
It'd be skeleton by that point. So I like 6 years. It's probably bones. What I figured it could have done was that it got stuck on an island in the atoll. Maybe like high water came through, unlodged it,
That could be.
spit it back out into the ocean,
Yeah.
and then as it was bouncing around, somehow the engines broke off and got stuck where it's mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
And then it just got kind of spit up on Taongi.
Right. With him
And-
still attached to it?
They didn't say exactly how much of the body was found.
Right. They found the jaw for sure.
Yeah, they found the jaw, and then the fishing boat, which could have been fishing illegally,
Yeah.
came
That part
up
made
there.
sense.
Came out there and then did the burial. But still, if I'm the more and more as we're talking, the more and more I actually think it could have been that they, that the majority of them died near Hana, because of
Yeah.
the ocean, being rough.
Right.
But that is it for this episode. Now, before we continue on, so basically, me and Aaron have been talking, and basically every Sunday, or every Saturday, every weekend, as long as time permits and we're free. So it isn't like I don't want Aaron to think he has to do this. But so every Saturday it's going to be, me and Aaron shooting the shit, and then Sundays will be two friends watch Unsolved Mysteries. It'll probably be just one case unless Aaron has a lot of free time, and then we can do multiple cases. But that's up to him ultimately, because me, I could do this all night. But the thing is, I'm not married, so it's like I don't have
Right.
that that responsibility. I'm not saying it to be mean or anything,
Yeah. You
but-
have your freedom, is what you're saying.
yeah. Hey, but Aaron, I'm gonna name off some types of cases that they do, and
Mhm.
Aaron, I would like you to pick, and then we
Oh,
will
awesome.
see. So we got murder cases,
Yeah.
we have missing cases like what we just watched, we have ghosts, we have UFOs,
Mm.
we have unexplained deaths, we have murders, we have robberies, we have lost loves. I think we also have the unexplained. We have legends, and I think we have wanted. The wanted ones are really quick cases, though, like 2 minutes sometimes. But
Oh,
what would
okay.
you like to? What would you like to see?
Well, actually, I mean, I would generally say like I don't like the ones that are murder, but some of the ones you've done that were the most interesting to me were the murder mysteries.
Yeah.
Because they're sometimes so bizarre. Like there was the one case where, and you probably know the name, where the guy gave someone a ride. It was like he picked up a hitchhiker that was like
Yeah,
violent and weird,
The-
dropped
the-
him off.
The Philip Frazier. No, wait,
Right.
no,
Is that
no,
what it
that's
was?
not. No, you used to pick up the hitchhiker. Are you talking about the?
So he dropped him off,
Was it a black
and
guy?
then no, I don't think so. I'm not sure, maybe, but he dropped him off, and then the son panicked. It was because he knew that he dropped off kind of near his mom's. And then
Yeah,
he goes to the
that's-
mom's house, and
yeah,
he had
and
killed his
walked-
mom.
Yeah. Okay,
And
so
then-
you want to do that one?
Well, no. I was saying is what I would
Oh.
like to do is whatever the cases that had the most impact on you. Like
Okay.
the ones that, because I feel like the ones that you were the most passionate about were also the ones that I was the most interested in, regardless of what the topic was.
Okay. So so a murder case.
Okay.
So let's take a look. Okay, so let's see here. I think it's Cindy James Unsolved Mysteries. I think that's what it is. How you pronounce? Oh, yep, it is. So we will do Cindy James next week. Now here, I will pull up.
Ooh, that's not too far from here, Vancouver, BC.
Yep. Let's see, Cindy. Boy, I picked the weird ones that are close. You know, James.
I like that though too. Like the Oakville blobs.
Yeah, I think I told you before. There's a case that actually is based in Longview. I think I told you about it before.
Yes, Dr. Tolby's in it. That's
Yeah.
yeah. My
Okay,
daughter's
let's see here.
doctor.
Let's see if I can find it. Just a quick preview.
Oh yeah.
Can you hear it okay?
Yep.
Okay.
This program is about
Come on.
unsolved mysteries. Whenever possible,
There it
the
goes.
actual family members and police
And
officials
there it goes.
have participated in recreating the events. What you are about to see is not a news broadcast.
Butch Cassidy and the Sundance
Okay, I'm just
Kid.
going to fast forward and see
These
if I can.
outlaw legends
Okay.
lived out his life as a prosperous Seattle businessman.
Okay,
For
here we
nearly
go.
7 years, Cindy James was a victim of more than 100 separate incidents of harassment, including 5 violent physical attacks.
Oh my
Police
God.
suspected that Cindy staged the incidents herself. Then in 1989, Cindy was found dead, her hands and feet bound behind her back. On a desolate highway.
Okay.
That's horrifying.
Yeah, and the thing
Scariest
is,
ones when the police don't believe you.
yeah, and the thing is like I would not believe how many times people have yelled at me, like, because I am of the fact that I think she was murdered.
Yeah. Well, she had to be, didn't she? You can't bind yourself up that way.
The thing is, police think that she did it to herself.
Really?
Yeah, you will. You and I know that people are going to scream cliffhanger. You will find this out next week, next Sunday, ladies and gentlemen.
I
Next
can't wait.
Sunday, yeah.
I'm not going to sleep until then. So I'm
Well,
going to worry about it. How do you bind yourself?
It's fucking bullshit. You know, like if
They just feel bad because they blew it.
Yeah,
she did that too.
I did this case on Unsolved Mysteries Commentary, so you can always try to find it. Yeah, but yeah, so I'll just give my quick thoughts. I think the fact that people think that she murdered herself, I think it's fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
The fact that the thing is, I think I can't recall they said that they ever found, because I think they said she was injected, but they never found anything near her, like the needles. I may be wrong. I can't recall. It's been a while.
Huh.
But the fact that, she has had all these things done to her,
right,
and people still say she did it to herself. The only way I would say that she did it to herself was if she had multiple personality syndrome.
Yeah, it'd have to be something like that, because if you're doing it for attention, you'd have to kill yourself on accident.
Yeah.
You'd want to continue to get attention. You wouldn't die.
But like I said, so next week we will be doing the story of Cindy James. And that is it for tonight. I am glad that, we were finally able to get this episode going.
It was relatively smooth.
Yeah,
after the beginning.
with the exception of the audio hiccup.
Right.
But
that won't happen again. So.
Yeah, we got that figured out. But I want to thank everybody who's going to take time to watch it in the future. And I definitely want to thank Aaron for finally giving me that kick in the ass to get this going.
And actually, I just wanted to be a guest once. I want to thank you for giving the opportunity of making a whole new show.
Oh, no problem. So you don't, because if you don't want to do this all the time, we don't have to.
No, I think it's really fun. It's
okay.
It's a good idea. So
okay. But so me and Aaron will see you all next Sunday at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Same YouTube, Facebook channel, same YouTube, Facebook time. Peace out, everyone.
Bye, everybody.
Okay, so now we're going.